We'll pretend that that worked first time, shall we? Okay, that's not the first I've accidentally forgotten to unmute. Oh, and that's broken the track. That's broke the... Oop, hello, hello. Are we catching up? We're slowly catching up. And then everything broke. Can you hear me now? All of a sudden, I'm getting a lot of network drops. I've been testing the network for 15 minutes and it's been fine. Right up until literally the moment we start. Okay, hang on a second. We'll start the scuff troubleshooting immediately, shall we? Okay, I'll type that just so everyone can see. Scuff repubs. This has been working absolutely fine for all of the time I've been testing, and then suddenly everything breaks. Okay, hang on. I'm going to turn off the model. So that's frozen intentionally now. What's happened? Let me play around with the settings real quick. Okay, does this help at all? Nope. How are things on everyone else's end? I cannot believe that we are once again... Oh, red and it's green now. Okay. Once again, I have to ask everyone, how does the stream look on your end? Okay, I'll reactivate the model. Okay, the model has now caught up. Good. Okay. Everything suddenly broke. Everything... I know that's true. Everything suddenly broke. I have been testing the connection for the last 15 minutes before the stream began. Everything was fine the entire time. The moment we start streaming, everything breaks. Apart from the microphone, that was my fault. Okay, we seem to be working now. Hopefully we have both audio. Model looks like it's caught up. Internet no longer now internet suddenly says it's dropping. Is it dropping on your end? Error, not receiving enough data. Tell you what, I'll type this. And then how long does it take for this to appear versus how long does it take for it to appear on the video stream itself? Okay, the delay is as expected on my end. That's about 10 seconds. Why do we have to troubleshoot? This is so professional, isn't it? This is so professional. Some of my T-Wads is going on. We'll just check that this is all working before we jump into the game. At least we have music. If the word "this" hasn't appeared on the video yet on your end, this is concerning. Hello? Because it's looking good on my preview. Is everyone caught up? That's more fitting music for for what's going on. Anyway, it looks like it's not really okay. Good. Yeah, if the stream is looking wonky to anyone, have a quick reload on your end. And now the model's... I was literally about to start, and then the model is now lagging on my end. Why? Hang on. Bap. That's caught up. Okay, maybe that was just weird in the background. Okay. These are just turning into a string of scuff streams. Much better. Okay, cool. Awesome. Right. Let's jump in before it gets any worse, my god. Oh, this keeps happening, doesn't it? This keeps happening. These are so professional. Such professional streams. But we'll move on anyway. We'll move on. Get rid of the T. Just drop it. Scuff probably, yeah. Alright. Let's all jump in then with... Boop. We are back playing Portal 2 with where we left off last time. I'll get me controller. And let's jump in. Let's continue from where we left. Let me know how the volume balance is on your end. Because we don't want the game to be too loud. We've got captions on. Oh, I forgot to record. Boop. And there we go. So we've got captions on for the important dialogue. And we don't want gameplay to be too loud, otherwise it drowns out the narration. But let me know how it sounds on your end. There's the shooting for comparison. So, where we left off last time is we had just confronted Wheatley and I confronted GLaDOS. Wheatley took over the facility and dropped both of us down here. GLaDOS is now Potato, and we are goodness knows where. Just for clarity, I have played Portal games a lot of times over the years, so none of this is a surprise to me, but we're going to be playing along with it anyway, because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You could play some portals around here. Pulled a British and became king, basically, yeah. Pretty much. Right, there we go. Also, sorry if my voice is a bit scratchy today. I recorded some loud stuff earlier, and my voice has been a bit rough since, so I might sound a little bit leer today. Do not enter. Keep out. That says condemned. Keep out. A lot of warning signs. So all this is directly beneath the Aperture Silence Laboratories. Okay, we need to get over there, which we can. Hello to the Sprogs. Hi, Sky. Condemned testing area. Frame rate is looking good. Things look alright. Just checking this stream isn't busted. Condemned vitrification order. 1961. Sorry, I got a thing that popped up. Do not look at, touch, ingest, or engage in conversation with any substances beyond this point. Okay, so we've got a portal we can put there, and up here. There we go. Keep out. We're going down there. More warnings. Cosmic ray spillation elements. That's the direction we just came from, so we're going this way. Before we do, I'll just get my stream stuff on my other monitor in the right place. Just because I don't have to turn too far away to see what the heck's going on. Okay. That's a bit better. Let's go. Let's go a bit deeper. Do not enter. Keep out. If only I could read. Alas. First time I played Portal 2, this moment here was where I stopped playing the first session. I got this far and was like, oh, I need to keep playing, but I also need to stop playing because I've been playing for hours. I love this moment, and I love that the music has stopped here. Lever. Can you see that? Watch this. I love the quiet atmosphere of this. We will just be taking our time with this. Like I can just rush through the puzzles really quick, but where's the fun in that? Let's take our time and enjoy it. Doing good, cheers. How's everyone else doing? We have huge Nixie tube counters. Abandonment. Oh, abandonment hatch. I was like, that doesn't say haunted, does it? Abandonment hatch. Test shaft 9. Sulu Bunsen. Do not enter. Sealed 1961. Here's our Nixie tube monitors. Hatch reclusion override. Pop! In the event of what? In the event of flooding, seek air pockets. That's good advice. Pop. Okay. Let's press pop and pop. Such a colossal hatch door. What in the world could be behind it? Wonderful bit of visual comedy. Behind it, behind this colossal door, there's a little teeny weeny door and a chair. Hang on, I need to put my my filter on my tail. I forgot to do that. Boop. There we go. So that'll cover a little less of the screen going forwards. Why are we opening the door? We've got nowhere else to go. We have to go deeper. Keep out. How would you describe a scuff as a personification? Just because people were talking about that earlier with the stream being scuffed, I guess because it's on theme. Like a team of troublesome little raccoons. Like imagine them like messing with all the cables, making things not work. So don't fall in there. Do not lean on railing. I wonder why. It looks very structurally sound. This game has some incredible environmental storytelling. Frame drops? Uh-oh! How many? Oh, network. Network frame drops. Okay, let's pause so we don't miss too much. while this is going on. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? This was fine. This was fine right up until we... Every single time. It's fine until we start. It's sod's law. Okay, it seems to have leveled out. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully that's fine. Hang on. Okay, it says it's caught up on my end. Thank you for the heads up. How's it looking now? I don't want to just continue while there's too many drops, because then we're playing a game that everyone misses. YouTube's still saying poor, but OBS is saying it's okay. Thumbs up if you can see me. Whenever there's a drop, by the way, it'll push the stream further and further behind on your end. So, if you want to maintain like as close to real-time latency as possible, you might need to refresh every now and then. Okay, thumbs up. Sweet. Alright. Thank you for the heads up. If ever there's like a drop like that, you might want to refresh on your end just to catch you back up to real... Well, like within 10 seconds, which is as close to real time as the streams get. I'll give you guys 5 seconds before we resume playing, for anyone who's refreshing right now. Connection is back to excellent. What is going on with my internet? Okay, I need to get into the habit of rebooting my router like half an hour before the stream. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. Like, at the beginning of the year, when we did the streams because I couldn't edit, because my editor computer had died, all of those streams went fine. I don't know. Anyway, we all back? We all good to go? Let's jump back in. Thank you for the heads up. Hopefully we should be good now. And resuming. So we fell quite far down, basically the back of the Aperture Science settee cushions, and got lost where everything appears to. Let's get a better look over here, I think. Here comes the scarf. Aperture. There's an old logo. Hands up, by the way, anyone who has no idea what goes on in this game, who hasn't played before. For those who have, if you've played before, if you're familiar with the story, you guys are with me, we're keeping quiet about what's going on. We're going to experience this game as if for the first time, for the benefit of the people who haven't played the first time. Because the Portal games are amazing to play for the first time. Take your time, figure out the story, figure out all the stuff that's going on in the background. No spoils. Alright, what's over here? Vitrified. Keep out. Contamination area. Notice experiment discontinued. Underground train to test shafts 1 to 8. This is test shaft 9, as I recall. Reconstructing Science Remix? Not that one, no. Test chambers 1 to 200. Vitrified. 1952, that's the earliest date I think we've found so far. Let's get in here. Yeah, spoiler free. Breaker, main power, entranceway, automated doors, lobby, testing lounge, all through here. So, for those of you who have never played Portal 2 before, who aren't familiar with what's going on, brace yourselves for something amazing.
Welcome, gentlemen, to Aperture Science. Astronauts, war heroes, Olympians, you're here because we want the best. And you are it. So, who's ready to make some science?
I am.
Now, you already met one another on the limo ride over, so let me introduce myself. I'm Cave Johnson. I own the place. That eager voice you heard is the lovely Carolyn, my assistant. Rest assured, she has transferred your honorarium to the charitable organization of your choice. Isn't that right, Carolyn?
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson.
She's the backbone of this facility. Pretty as a postcard, too. Sorry, fellas. She's married. To science.
Cave Johnson. Played by J.K. Simmons, he is legendary. He is legendary. I hope the volume sounded decent enough. Like we don't need the game volume where characters are talking to be comparable to what I'm talking. I'll try to shut up when important story stuff is going on. Aperture Science Innovators. We saw that fall out of the logo. Welcome to the future of tomorrow. Aperture Science Innovators, established 1947. Raiha! How's it going? Got done carrying furniture with my big bro and it's almost mid. Oh no. Main lift to surface. That's where we want to go. No, this elevator is out of service until perpetually. I like that this is all just built here. All going up to service, but you can't get in. Just like this is how close you are to escaping, but you just can't. You can't yet. So, bit of game design. As soon as you walked into this room, that fell out of there, specifically to draw your attention to it. What? And jump off here. Enter. Possibly founded in 1947, but the lower part was disbanded in 61, maybe as an offshoot of NASA. I don't think NASA itself is mentioned. This is just Aperture is a independent company, but we'll get a bit of background lore for Aperture going forwards. Hey, Marlo.
There's 1,000 tests performed every day here in our enrichment spheres. I can't personally oversee every one of them, so these pre-recorded messages will cover any questions you might have and respond to any incidents that may occur in the course of your science adventure. Your test assignment will vary depending on the manner in which you have bent the world to your will. Those of you helping us test the repulsion gel today, just follow the blue line on the floor. Those of you who volunteered to be injected with praying mantis DNA, I've got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is we're postponing those tests indefinitely. Good news is we've got a much better test for you. Fighting an army of mantis men. Pick up a rifle and follow the yellow line. You'll know when the test starts.
You'll know. You'll know when it's... I love that. Makes you wonder, what happened? What happened there? Cave Johnson. Look at that guy. Bunch of side lore here. Best new science company, Aperture Science, in the year of 1947. Spirit of Idaho, National Potato Board. Oh, are we getting drops? Hang on. Hang on. No, we're good. We're green. We green. We good. Got a few drops on my on end there. We good still? Okay, we'll keep going. Spirit of Idaho National Potato Board Awards for the promotion of potato science. And in 1955, so they're already doing science by the 50s. This is what they were before. Cave Johnson, shower curtain salesman of 1943 Aperture fixtures. And this is the trophy one. Yep, Pioneer Press. Local entrepreneur buys salt mine. Cave Johnson to bring science industry to Upper Michigan. The future is here and is under the Earth's crust, says Science Maverick. Science curtain... shower curtain salesman of 1943. So Aperture started off as a shower curtain company before going into science. Now we're getting drops again. Oh my god. Ah. Now we're getting drops. I'll drop bitrate a bit further. Should we go to nuclear option? Should I just go and restart the router? Should I go and restart the router? I'll give everyone a few seconds. It's gotten green now. I've plummeted the bitrate back down to 4,500 kilobit per second. Kilobit? Yeah, kilobit per second. It looks fine now. Okay, if we get drops like that again, we'll pause the stream for 5 minutes to reboot the router. I'm really sorry, everyone. I'm really sorry. Looks like it's okay now. I'll give everyone a minute to refresh streams just to catch back up again, because that will have pushed everyone behind by a few. Pop. So when that appears on the video itself, if that appears within 10 seconds, you know you're pretty well caught up. If not, you might want to refresh. I'll give everyone a quick chance before we continue. If we get frame drops again, I'll pause the stream for 5 minutes just to go and reboot the router. Keyboard. I will be doing a typing stream at some point. Just catch up on chat while this is going. This will be infected by raccoon. Raccoons they do indeed have excellent night vision. They are primarily nocturnal, I believe. Clicky clack, yeah. There's a game, by the way, called Duskers, which I definitely want to play on stream at some point, which is you controlling drones on spaceships to to investigate derelicts in space, but you can only control them using an MS-DOS style terminal. So that would be really cool to play on stream. So we might get to that at some point. Okay, everyone caught up? Okay. Let's jump back in. Sorry again for the drops. Hopefully this has caught us up. And we'll continue. So, to recap, Aperture Science started as a shower curtain sales company before getting into science. US Department of Defense Contractor of the Year, runner-up 1952, runner-up 1954, because you get trophies for those. But it's interesting how this all started. Cave Johnson, the guy behind all of Aperture Science. So it looks like we're heading upwards. We've had the fall. Now for the climb. Stuff over there. Ah, we'll take the left. Trophies for being the runner-up for being a contractor. Like, they didn't even get the contract. Here we go. Pump Station Alpha. We are right underneath this testing sphere. That means someone got first place. I bet it was Black Mesa. For those who aren't aware of Black Mesa, it's a company from Half-Life, which this game Portal takes place in the Half-Life universe. Vitrified. Notice, experiment discontinued. So we got 3 of these. Quick Easter egg.
If you've cut yourself at all in the course of these tests, you might have noticed that your blood is pure gasoline. That's normal. We've been shooting you with an invisible laser that's supposed to turn blood into gasoline, so all that means is it's working.
Boop.
If you need to go to the bathroom after this next series of tests, please let a test associate know. because in all likelihood, whatever comes out of you is going to be coal. Only temporary, so do not worry. If it persists for a week, though, start worrying and come see us, because that's not supposed to happen.
And finally?
Just a heads up, we're going to have a superconductor turned up full blast and pointed at you for the duration of this next test. I'll be honest, we're throwing science at the wall here to see what sticks. No idea what it'll do. Probably nothing. Best case scenario, you might get some superpowers. Worst case, some tumors, which we'll cut out.
Just throw that in, like, briefly at the end. Right, so we need to get over there to the pump station. There's a angled surface there. So let's use that. We need to fling ourselves, which means that we need a fair bit of momentum. Whoop. Crunk. Pump station Alpha. Know your allergens. Pollen, animal dander, plastics, antimatter. Your hazardous materials. Don't touch anything unfamiliar. Your chemical hazards. Do not inhale fumes, no matter how good they smell. I love these old machines. Pump station Alpha pumps to all the testing spheres. Gel pressure control. Heck yeah. Bit of level design here. This, like, as soon as you walk out here, this draws your eye immediately. I've seen streams of people play this game for the first time and they immediately place portals here. Because, like, you look at it, you have to. And it's a good way to teach people to, like, you need to look around to, like, okay, put portal there, where do I put the other one? Because a thing I learned from the developers' commentary for these games, people tend not to look up in these tests. Safety first. Together we can make 1956 the lowest unexpected casualty MM ever. Gel flow. This way.
They say great science is built on the shoulders of giants. Not here. At Aperture, we do all our science from scratch. No hand-holding.
The guy who did the voice for J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man games. This was, yeah, J.K. Simmons was J. Jonah Jameson in the old Spider-Man trilogy. Also, President Ackerman in Red Alert 3. He's done a whole load of stuff. What bunkshelf ASMR can I recommend my brother the best without it being
let's get
weird?
started. This first test involves something the lab boys call repulsion gel. You're not part of the control group, by the way. You get the gel. Last poor son of a gun got blue paint. All joking aside, that did happen. Broke every bone in his legs. Tragic, but informative. Or so I'm told.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to recommend. Merfolk, maybe? I really don't know. I couldn't say. I'm a bit biased and everything, and I get that audio RPs are something that you kind of not everyone knows that much about. So, and of course, like, the majority of the stuff is boyfriend girlfriend kind of stuff, and the main stuff is of course just standard ASMR, which is a bit more mainstream but also a bit weirder. So hard to say, especially of my stuff. Remember, this test is unsolvable without an Aperture Science portable quantum tunneling device. Look how bulky it is. If you have not received one, please find a test associate before participating in any Shaft 09 enrichment activities. We got the portal gun. We're good. Did you know Aperture Science fact placard repulsion gel was Aperture's first attempt to create a dietetic pudding substitute? It's true. The gel is a sweeter, slightly less non-toxic form of fiberglass insulation that causes subsequently ingested food items to bounce off the lining of the dieter's distended stomach and out his or her mouth. For various reasons, this product was pulled from shelves. For more information, consult other fact placards. The only thing with Vampire Hunter is it does have blood drinking, etc., which not everyone's into. Like, if you find that stuff, you might go like, oh, this is weird, I'll check it out anyway. But when it comes to a recommendation, you might want to go with something a bit tamer. I think my more recent stuff is generally tamer. If it's to introduce the concept of what the audios are and story doesn't matter, but maybe Vampire Hunter 3? There we go. Oh yeah, the blue gel is bouncy gel basically. Whoop. See? Gimme. There we go. And a boop. And a jump.
The lab boys just informed me that I should not have mentioned the control group. They're telling me I ought to stop making these pre-recorded messages. That gave me an idea. Make more pre-recorded messages. I pay the bills here, I can talk about the control group all damn day.
There's a reason people remember this guy so fondly. There are a few of these rooms just scattered around. Usually there's not much in it. I like that we have typewriters rather than computers for the older stuff.
For this next test, we put nanoparticles in the gel. In layman's terms, that's a billion little gizmos that are going to travel into your bloodstream and pump experimental genes and RNA molecules and so forth into your tumors. Now, maybe you don't have any tumors. Well, don't worry. If you sat on a folding chair in the lobby and weren't wearing lead underpants, we took care of that too.
Alright, we want to get here. Get the cube. And jump. Cube on button. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Here's a cool thing that doesn't really happen much in the game. I really love the environmental music design in this game. The way that the music plays from locations. Like, it's in the world, it's not just playing globally, usually. And it interacts with what you're doing in the game. There we go. And what does that opens that up, and we do basically the same thing. Boop. These things, by the way, are the, you can't fire portals through them, and when you walk through them, it disintegrates portals as well.
Oh, in case you got covered in that repulsion gel, here's some advice the lab boys gave me. Do not get covered in the repulsion gel. We haven't entirely nailed down what element it is yet, but I'll tell you this, it's a lively one, and it does not like the human skeleton.
The writing is so good in this. Aperture Science Innovators.
These science spheres are made of asbestos, by the way. Keeps out the rats. Let us know if you feel a shortness of breath, a persistent dry cough, or your heart stopping, because that's not part of the test. That's asbestos. News is the lab boys say the symptoms of asbestos poisoning show a median latency of 44.6 years. So if you're 30 or older, you're laughing. Worst case scenario, you miss out on a few rounds of canasta. Plus, you forwarded the cause of science by 3 centuries. I punch those numbers into my calculator, it makes a happy face.
Okay, where do we go? I can see the gel is being pumped all the way up from where we came from. There we go. There's these lights that light up things, like, how else would you be able to see that unless it was specifically lit up? Boop. And oh, that's a door. There we go.
I like your style. You make up your own rules, just like me. Bean Counter said I couldn't fire a man just for being in a wheelchair. Did it anyway. Ramps are expensive.
Boop. So, this is how it teaches. Firstly, you see the symbol there when you're over there. So that's where you know that you have to put the portal on. So you have to come through here, meaning the portal is already placed by you by the time you come into this room. Thus teaching you, when you press the button, that the gel can go through portals, allowing you to place it wherever you want, really. Wherever you want in the world. More or less, really. Not literally anywhere. I love the small bits of genius level design that you don't really notice. But this really helps with teaching, especially first-time players, how to play this game. Move out of the way. And jump. Moth might be a good one, yeah. Oh. The little bits of music, I love it so much. Okay, so we know that the trajectory leads to about there. There we go.
Just a heads up, that coffee we gave you earlier had fluorescent calcium in it so we can track the neuronal activity in your brain. There's a slight chance the calcium could harden and vitrify your frontal lobe. Anyway, don't stress yourself thinking about it. I'm serious. Visualizing the scenario while under stress actually triggers the reaction.
Run that by me again? Aru might be a good call. I guess the thing with Respawn is the title is to do with, it says Catboy this, that, the other, which might not be everyone's thing. But beyond that, the Respawn series as a whole...
Now, if you're part of control group Kepler-7, we implanted a tiny microchip about the size of a postcard into your skull. Most likely you've forgotten it's even there. But if it starts vibrating and beeping during this next test, let us know. Because that means it's about to hit 500 degrees, so we're going to need to go ahead and get that out of you pretty fast. I'm telling them, keep your pants on. All right, this next test may involve trace amounts of time travel. So, word of advice, if you meet yourself on the testing track, don't make eye contact. Lab boys tell me that'll wipe out time. Entirely. Forward and backward. So, do both of yourselves a favor and just let that handsome devil go about his business.
It's amazing. Okay. Well, first of all, remember, if a future you tries to warn you about this test, don't listen. Okay, go up here, and bottle there, and here. Bounce! There we go. Gel flow. This is a different type of gel, because there's the blue stuff. I'm glad you like Respawn, thank you. I'm so happy to be able to, like, talk about the story now, because I've been sitting on Respawn for far too long. Accidents hurt. You'll be hurt. Co-workers don't endanger others. What is that? The company, replacements are costly. Science, investigators impede progress. Safety first. Okay, we need more gel. But I think that's what we need. Let's try that again. There we go. Bounce and up. Stop there.
If you're
Go.
hearing this, it means you're taking a long time on the catwalks.
Hold your asses, I'm getting there.
The lab boys say that might be a fear reaction. I'm no psychiatrist, but coming from a bunch of eggheads who wouldn't recognize the thrill of danger if it walked up and snapped their little pink bras, that sounds like projection. They didn't fly into space, storm a beach, or bring back the gold. No, sir, we did. It's you and me against the world, son. I like your grit. Hustle could use some work, though. Now let's solve this thing.
So this test is one of the ones that teaches you some mechanic that is very important later on. There's one of the very last puzzles I got stuck on for so long the first time I played. And this is the test that teaches that mechanic. Objects you can pick up are affected by gel. Just continuing to bounce around. Thank you. Cube on button. That allows us to get up there. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. And then we move that cube with this. With this. There we go. I jumped at the end.
Why? Why not? Why is so much of our science dangerous? Why not Mary save science if you love it so much? In fact, why not invent a special safety door that won't hit you on the butt on the way out because you are fired? Now you test subject, you're doing fine. Yes, you.
Thank you.
Box your stuff. Out the front door. Parking lot. Car. Goodbye.
Amazing writing and the perfect cast for this character. Perfect cast. It's a flying raccoon. He would, Ryu.
Congratulations! The simple fact that you're standing here listening to me means you've made a glorious contribution to science. As founder and CEO of Aperture Science, I thank you for your participation and hope we can count on you for another round of tests. We're not going to release this stuff into the wild until it's good and damn ready, so as long as you keep yourself in top physical form, there will always be a limo waiting for you. Say goodbye, Carolyn.
Goodbye, Carolyn.
She is a gem.
So this is the testing sphere that we just got through. There's still plenty more to go. I'm just stopping to show off the world because there's a lot that's going on in the background. This is the blue gel that we activated. Orange, right next to the blue. Gel flow. There's also that there, which we'll see shortly. This is the time for subtle world-building lore. I love it. Alex! How you doing? Yeah, if the chat on screen is longer than 10 seconds delay from when it appears on your end, you might want to reload the stream. Thank you for your participation. There's cave again. Elevator to surface. This lift was the most aggravating when I first played, because like, not only is there the lift, you could you could see the distance on it as it travels up. It's like, this is to the surface. That's what we want to get. We want to get out of here. Where is Potatoes? We'll see. We certainly will see. Okay. I normally go long hair, but that's just me. Oh yeah, we're deep. Pump station beta. Okay, now we've got two of these things. Boop. And here. What? Let's try that again. There's an office up there. There we go. Blue there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Pump station beta. Alpha, nice. Use the actual letter, I appreciate that. Boop and boop. Speaking of, I personally have long hair, so like the hair length of this Mitch model is based more closely on my hair IRL. I think it's actually a little bit longer IRL. I do usually have a ponytail. It's actually down right now. I took my ponytail out literally just before the stream started, but I do have a bit beyond shoulder length hair. I've been growing it out for a while, a couple of years. 1971. Here's their new logo.
Greetings, friend. I'm Cave Johnson, CEO of Aperture Science. You might know us as a vital participant in the 1968 Senate hearings on missing astronauts. And you've most likely used one of the many products we invented, but that other people have somehow managed to steal from us. Black Mesa can eat my bankrupt...
Sir, the testing?
Right. Now you might be asking yourself, Cave, just how difficult are these tests? What was in that phone book of a contract I signed? Am I in danger? Let me answer those questions with a question. Who wants to make $60? Cash. You can also feel free to relax for up to 20 minutes in the waiting room, which is a damn sight more comfortable than the park benches most of you were sleeping on when we found you. So, welcome to Aperture. You're here because we want the best, and you're it. Nope. Couldn't keep a straight face. Anyway, don't smudge up the glass down there. In fact, why don't you just go ahead and not touch anything unless it's test related.
Alright. Take my hands off the controls then. Yeah, damn sight different from last time, when he was astronaut, scientist, Olympian. There's people that are here because they want to make $60. Where is it? Where's the sign? Where's the sign? Your $60 is a fact. Been imagining Mage with long black hair this whole time. It's dark brown. It's kind of what Kiwi and I went with for the model. A little bit closer to myself than regular audio Mitch, because like the model is meant to be representative a bit more of me than just Mitch. But yeah, longish dark brown hair, usually in a ponytail, but it's down right now. Control room. That's where we want to go. Actually, we didn't check that out. There's probably not much there, but... There's Cave. Looking a bit old now. Test subject waiting area. Brilliant. This is the 70s, I think, when this part was built. Very orange. Remember, alert your supervisor if you see OSHA inspector, Department of Energy inspector, GAO accountant, undercover police officer, nuclear regulatory commissioner, FEMA coordinator, ordinary police officer, journalist, public works inspector, MSHA mine inspector, ATF, FBI, US Marshal. Noted. Things are going a bit downhill at this point, aren't they? Alright, back up here then. There we go. Who wants to see an Easter egg? I missed this the first time I played. Oh, do these have...
If you're allergic to peanuts, you might want to tell somebody now, because this next test may turn your blood into peanut water for a few minutes. On the bright side, if we can make this happen, they're going to have to invent a new type of Nobel Prize to give us, so hang in there.
Someone with lots of experience, I can tell you that your hair is a playground for kids when handling... They want to make you a pretty princess no matter if you want it or not. My niece definitely is... very, very much wants to get her hands on my hair. Too bad.
The average human male is about 60% water. As far as we're concerned, that's a little extravagant. So if you feel a bit dehydrated in this next test, that's normal. We're going to hit you with some jet engines and see if we can't get you down to 20 or 30%.
Everyone, hydrate if you haven't yet. Ooh, what's through there? Shall we have a look? Nah, let's press the button.
Alright, we're working on a little teleportation experiment. Now, this doesn't work with all skin types, so try to remember which skin is yours, and if it doesn't teleport along with you, we'll do what we can to sew you right back into it.
Good to know. There's a dry dock here. There's a ship that's supposed to be here, but isn't. And the ship is called the Borealis. Now, I'm not the most read up on this. I don't fully get the reference. I suspect most people don't either. The Borealis is a ship that's apparently very, very important to the Half-Life series from Half-Life 2. I think it was in 2. One of the episodes. And I don't fully get the significance of it. I know, obviously, that Half-Life and Portal are both set in the same universe, and there's like a crossover kind of point to show that there's stuff going on between the two. So I don't know that much about the ship. I know that when someone made a fake leak for Half-Life 3, they used the Borealis as the center point for it, so I guess it's something that's crucial to it. And for those who were in the stream last time, when we heard the ghost of Ratman in the walls, I mentioned that one of the few things that we're confident that he says is something about the ship has been stolen. Ratman mentions that the ship is stolen, the ship is gone. And Ratman, for that Easter egg, was voiced by the writer of the Half-Life games. So I don't fully understand what the significance is in Half-Life. I feel like I need to play the Half-Life series on stream at some point, because I've never got through it. I've played maybe an hour of Half-Life 2, and that's my entire experience. But this is a point of consistent lore between the two that I'm very, very intrigued by. Remember, if you see an orange jumpsuit, hit the red button. Orange jumpsuits are test subjects. Okay, control room. We need to get in there. Oop. Hope you don't mind me taking the slow route for all this. We could just rush through with solving the puzzles. Let's check where we're placing the portal. Okay, we'll place it there, actually. There we go. Yeah, I like to take our time, look around the scenery, breathe in all the lore that's going on. The person who asked about where Potatoes is.
Say, you're good at murder. Could you, murder this bird for me? Thanks.
Get out of here.
Did you
There we
feel
go.
that? That idiot doesn't know what he's doing up there. This whole place is going to explode in a few hours if somebody doesn't disconnect him. I can't move, and unless you're planning to saw your own head off
She
and wedge it
is.
into my old body, you're going to need me to replace him. We're at an impasse. So what do you say? You carry me up to him and put me back into my body, and I stop us from blowing up and let you go. Wow, you stabbed me. What is wrong with... Hold on. Do you have a multimeter? Never mind. The gun must be part magnesium. It feels like I'm outputting an extra half a volt. Keep an eye on me. I'm going to do some scheming. Here I go. Whoa, where are we? How long have I been out?
A few seconds.
That extra half volt helps, but it isn't going to power miracles. If I think too hard, I'm going to fry this potato before we get a chance to burn up in the atomic fireball that little idiot is going to...
There was mention earlier on in the game of Aperture Science machinery being able to run on like 1.1 volts, and that was all to as part of the the foreshadowing of this with the potato. We also saw the... I didn't mean to put the portal there, but okay. There we go. And here we go. Nice. Know a lot about Half-Life. I don't know that much about Half-Life, just the stuff that's relevant to Portal, and that's mainly just from like wiki pages I've read. The reunion.
Did anything happen while I was out?
Loading screen.
The testing
That's
area
about
is
it.
just up ahead. The
Okay.
quicker you get through, the quicker you'll get your $60.
Hold on. Oh,
Carolyn, are the compensation vouchers ready?
Yes,
yes,
sir,
sir,
Mr.
Mr. Johnson. Why did I just... Who is that? What the hell is going on here?
Least favorite color? I really don't know. It depends on the context, color-wise, because pretty much every color is a color that can work in some context. There are colors that don't work in some cases, but it's context relevant, I think. There's the music again. Alright. This room took me far too long the first time I played. Boop. Blue. Nice. Okay, we'll put blue there. Blue there. And orange there. Cube on the button, then we're going up there. Remember, do not leave your belongings here, loiter for more than 20 minutes, touch the glass. Do wear a shirt and shoes at all times, move quickly through the test track, and not forget to touch the glass. They really don't want people touching the glass. Okay, so we need to get up here, press that button. And again, this is teaching you stuff that will be important later. Nice. I do like green. There are some gross greens, and there are some really, really lovely, like, leafy greens. Forest green. I like forest green. My favorite color is blue. Gladys equals Carolyn. Jane, go to... It's 8 AM and you haven't slept? I appreciate it, but please go and sleep. These streams are not that important or interesting.
Require more than 1.6 volts. Now we know that. We just need to relax. We're still going to find out what the hell's going on here, but calmly.
Gladys now has to learn not to be emotional.
Those people in the portrait, they look so familiar.
It's cave again. Probably nothing, right? Remember, alert your supervisor if you see any of these again. Good night, Jane. Please get some sleep. (1972) again. Right. Beautiful. Forest green is nice. Okay. Exits over there. So orange is there, so we want blue, put it there. Ready? Let's squash the bit right. Nice.
Astronaut, war hero, and/or Olympian. With your help, we're gonna take the world. This on? Hey, listen up down there. That
Oi.
thing's called an elevator, not a bathroom.
Don't poke me.
I know him.
Oh, this is a good room. This is a
If you're
great
interested
puzzle.
in an additional $60, flag down a test associate and let them know. You could walk out of here with 120 weighing down your bindle if you let us take you apart, put some science stuff in you, then put you back together, good as new.
So, working backwards. Rather than just solving... You don't solve, like, one step at a time. Work backwards from the end, I think. So, the exit's here. There's no platform around it. But there is this angled platform. We can't fling out of it, but we have now learned orange gel. Well, orange gel mixed with blue gel. So, we have orange and blue gel dropping one at a time. So we put blue portal there, orange gel. Does the same thing that it did in the last chamber. So we can do the same thing with this. So if we put blue portal there, we can fling ourselves at that to hit the blue portal and fly all the way over here. We've got this, though. So let's try. So we need to get that cube, and there's a button there. Let's see what that does first. I have solved all these puzzles before. I'm just working through it to show how... to show the thinking. Sorry, no. We need to get to that first. Well, actually, let's see what... When we see something like this, let's press it to see what it does. So that rotates that. So we've got... come out of here at speed. Bounce off that onto this. And with blue on there as well, that bounces over to there. But if we let go of the button, that rotates back down. So that's where we put the cube. There's also a angled platform here. Here we go. Okay. So we need blue gel there. Try that again. How'd your characters react if they were in a dress? Not the first time that's been considered. Not the first time I've been asked. It depends on the character. Mitch would I think very much be in favour of that. Mitch is happy just to have fun. It'll just be a fun thing. Like, hey, do I look cool? But it would depend which character. Like, some would react ambivalently, some would be annoyed. Mitch would be quite happy. Okay. Let's try this again. There we go. Could take this down here. But we need blue gel on that. And there's a platform there. So we'll get back up there. There we go. So now we've got bouncy gel on that platform. We can spin that around. There we go. This should do it. Hell yeah.
In case you're interested, there's still some positions available for that bonus opportunity I mentioned earlier. Again, all you gotta do is let us disassemble you. We're not banging rocks together here. We know how to put a man back together. So, that's a complete reassembly. New vitals, spit shine on the old ones, plus we're scooping out tumors. Frankly, you ought to be paying us.
Not to invoke the appeal to authority. It is kind of an appeal to false authority, perhaps. Shower curtain salesman. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. I can't believe I'm thanking these people. For staggering your way through Aperture Science's propulsion gel testing, you've made some real contributions to society for a change, and for that, humanity is grateful. If you had any belongings, please pick them up now. We don't want old newspapers and sticks cluttering up the building. Any of you, I realize $60 is an unprecedented windfall, so don't go spending it all on, I don't know, Carolyn, what do these people buy? Tattered hats? Beard dirt?
Beard dirt. All forms must be filled out legibly and completely before eligible to receive payment of $60. We have, again, lift to the surface. We cannot get in. Okay, the gel going up through it. Dresses are awesome, especially circle dresses and skirts have a lot of twirl. I'm wearing a twirl skirt right now. Yeah, that's something that Mitch is perfectly happy with. You know, you put David or someone like that in, perhaps less favourable. I don't think someone like Kai or Leah would have that much context of like the cultural societal norms, so they'd probably be ambivalent. Like, yeah, it works. Why not? I think definitely for both them because they have tails, of course. Raban is a difficult one because he's many centuries old and so went through many periods of the standard norm dress for men was very flowy. What? Someone asked about what if how my characters react to being in skirts. As long as it has pockets. Yeah. Alright, pump station Gamma. So we just came through there. So caution sign up there we can't quite read. We need to get up there. There we go. Watch your step.
Carolyn, why do I know this woman? Did I kill her? Or... oh my god. Look, you're doing a great job. Can you handle things for yourself for a while? I need to
Yeah?
think.
Take your time, Potato. I'll do all the puzzle solving. Yeah, David is the vampire hunter. He was never called that in an audio until episode 4, I think. But that's been like his name in the like that's been his canon name for a short while. It was just never actually mentioned in an audio until recently. So it wasn't mentioned in an audio, so it's fine. I understand most people probably don't recognize the name. Alright. Here we go. Carla the Complainer says, my new boss is a robot. But did you know? Robots are smarter than you. Robots work harder than you. Robots are better than you. Volunteer for testing today.
It's evil. It flew off. Good for him. Alright, back to thinking.
Gladys never got over Maria in the Blood Moon episode. Combataton. I was about to say combat testing. Combataton? Is that a word? Yeah, so the Incubus is Jackson. Also a name that hasn't been mentioned in an audio, but there are a few names that haven't been mentioned in audios because there's not really been a time for it to... There we go. For it to make sense to naturally say the name. So sometimes they don't get names mentioned.
Welcome to the Enrichment Center.
But on the lore wiki link below, there are some characters that have names that haven't been mentioned in on the channel itself. So for instance, the Merman is Lachlan. The Royal Knight from the Ranch and Royal Knight series is Eisen. And those are canon names, they just haven't come up naturally in conversations yet. Oh no, stream's dropping. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, it seems to have leveled out now. So hopefully we're okay now. Are we good now? Okay, I'll give everyone... Hang on. Yeah, it seems to be smooth again. Now's a good time to we'll take a quick 30 seconds. Reload now if you want to get back up. I'm really sorry about the connection this time around. This has not been the best. Give everyone a few, just so we don't carry on while people are reloading. One thing I'll say about the wiki is, at the moment, there are some issues on the host's end, on Myrahi's end. Pictures are currently not working on the Bunkshelf lore wiki. That's not something that we can do much about. I think we're just waiting until Myrahi's fixes their servers. So pictures are down at the moment on the wiki. They should come back within a few days. Everyone good? At least a better connection than the Portal one, yeah. It was working fine right up until we started streaming. Less scuff than before, yeah. Yeah. Alright, sorry about this. Thank you everyone for your patience, but let's jump back in. Thank you for the heads up.
Since making test participation mandatory for all employees, the quality of our test subjects has risen dramatically. Employee retention, however, has not. As a result, you may have heard we're going to phase out human testing. There's still a few things left to wrap up, though. The bean counters told me we literally could not afford to buy $7 worth of moon rocks, much less 70 million. Bought them anyway. Ground them up, mixed them into a gel. And guess what? Ground up moon rocks are pure poison. I am deathly ill. Still, it turns out they're a great portal conductor. So now, we're going to see if jumping in and out of these new portals can somehow leach the lunar poison out of a man's bloodstream. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Let's all stay positive and do some science. That said, I would really appreciate it if you could test as fast as possible. Carolyn, please bring me more pain pills.
The blue lighting in this area mixed with, as soon as you come through, all of the sound from the pumps is just deafened. And all you can hear is Cave Johnson's pained voice. Very effective. The same poster. Remember, robots don't sleep. They can test and do your job. Volunteer for testing today. Now we start to see the design of early Aperture. Boop. Aperture Science, let's work together. And this is the modern logo now as well. Warning, please do not test if you are allergic to lunar sediment and or starch, you have fulfilled your monthly test self-election quota, or you are confident enough in your work performance to unvolunteer from the test self-election process. Things are getting grim for Aperture Science. Would the Incubus wear dresses and skirts? It's not really his style. He's more of a wear baggy stuff and not draw attention to himself. He's a comfortable, like, a baggy trousers and hoodie sort of person. When he wore what was on the old banner from episode 3, that was his Halloween outfit, because usually he's not in his incubus form, and because of where his wings attach at the lower back, it kind of forces either shirtless or crop top, which are not his style. He's a very self-conscious person. He's the kind of person that wouldn't buy mirrors for his house. Shall we put it that way? Not because of like it's not that he finds himself to be distasteful. He's just very, very self-conscious, very self-aware. But when I commissioned art for that character, I think the words I used to describe how he looked was, "So hot it hurts." He is pained by how he looks. If he had reason to, yeah, but he wouldn't look happy about it. It would fit him. But his style is, you know, hoodies, and not in demon form. He would much rather be in like human form. Oh, there's no music here, just like this is where you play around with the paint and figure out what you can do with it. There we go. Now the exit's over there. Yeah, dude needs a hug. Can we get through? Yes, we can. So this gel is made up of the ground up moon dust. What was it with this channel and the moon, eh? I mean, it fits the Incubus's like character and character arc. He's painfully attractive. He's the kind of character would much rather not be perceived. Spread this around everywhere. We don't really need to, but eh. Expect hugs? No. He's not really used to getting to being like have attention paid to him, and that generally suits him. Yeah, there was a hug in part 1. We need to get up here. Can we make this jump? Not quite. Do we need to? Perhaps not. That would be painful. Yeah, we need to put the paint on this, don't we? I went all the way around, but I just need to go left slightly. I feel like Jackson the Incubus is asexual just because he's so uncomfortable about the topic. Always had a panic attack on the attraction part 3. It's not just the attraction part 3. It was the type of energy, and it was a lot of it. It was an unprecedented amount. Like, so that is like power that he'd never felt before. It's like this extremely potent energy for demons. And just something he'd never really experienced before. Actually, we can just do that, can't we? That said, I never written the character to be Ace, but I loved how many comments I got from people saying that was their headcanon. That, I don't want to confirm that it is. I like leaving it up to interpretation. It's something that really works well as interpretation, I think. But I do like that interpretation. So well, we've got orange there. We can make that. Nice.
Alright, I've been thinking.
Okay.
When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these?
Take the lemons.
Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day it thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons.
Oh, I like this guy.
I'm gonna get my engineers to invent a combustible lemon that burns your house down.
His house down. Fighting people. He says what we're all thinking.
Point is, if we can store music on a compact disc, why can't we store a man's intelligence and personality on one? So I have the engineers figuring that out now. Brain mapping, artificial intelligence. We should have been working on it 30 years ago. I will say this, and I'm gonna say it on tape so everybody hears it 100 times a day. If I die before you people can pour me into a computer, I want Carolyn to run this place. Now she'll argue. She'll say she can't. She's modest like that, but you make her. Yeah, put her in my computer. I don't care. All right, test's over. You can head on back to your desk.
Goodbye, sir. Cave Johnson is a legend. Alright, we need to get up there. I'll be in my room being silent to pretend I don't exist. That's basically his modus operandi. Because the whole succubus incubus thing is... It requires motion towards. Whereas he's the kind of person that does not like that. What? There we go. Just fall back down. Okay, we need to do 2 of these. Blue that. Orange that. Nice. Is that where we need to go? Ah, there we go. And loading screen. Yes, it is more or less confirmed. Carolyn did become GLaDOS.
I know things look bleak, but that crazy man down there was right. Let's not take these lemons. We are going to march right back upstairs and make him put me back in my body. And he'll probably kill us because he's incredibly powerful and I have no plan. Well, I'm not going to lie to you. The odds are 1,000,000 to 1, and that's with some generous rounding. Still, though, let's get mad. If we're going to explode, let's at least explode with some dignity.
Do you remember the different turret from earlier, from the previous stream? Going, get mad. Don't make lemonade. Okay, maybe put one there. Yeah, someone did point out in the comments something that I'd not heard before, that, yeah, succubi and incubi isn't a gendered thing. It's to do with essentially the same root as the word succumb and I guess incursion. So I did make a mistake with that, but it's a very... To call it a mistake, it's the way that the word is defined. And I guess that's the original usage, but the words succubus and incubus have had different definitions. Like, the more common usage implies gender at this point. Yeah, he's the kind of character that would prefer to be left alone, but his nature as a demon makes that impossible. Oh, that was you. Boop. There we go. Yeah, I did pick up on that comment. I do remember it. Now we have all three and no obvious like exit. Like no obvious like as into like the way that test chambers are traditionally set up. It's just a room. You have all three gels, no music, just solve it. And I like that. Okay, so what do we need? So we can run up here. There's blue stuff there, so we don't need to place it anywhere. Let's see what this does. Okay, works, but we need blue gel there. Thankfully we can place some. Okay, not quite. White gel. Then blue gel. There we go. Lovely. Just heads up, we might do what we did last time, at the end of the last stream, and call the stream shortly once we get out of the underground section. Once we get to the upstairs, essentially, we might call it there. So for those who have played the game before, we might be calling the stream in the next 5 minutes or so. Okay, so we've got the orange one there. Just so we don't just end the stream abruptly. No, we want place. There we go. Place that there. This way up. I appreciate that. Whew. That could have gone badly. Okay. So we want to stand on this. There we go. That's what it came out of. Missed 2 questions. From Nezachu, how did listener meet Incubus? And from Roya, how many unwanted suitors and wanted popularity in school? Due to his best efforts, basically didn't get that much unwanted attention. Because Jackson's not the kind to make much of an effort to like, he wants to hide, he wants to be by himself. And basically thought himself to be a human for the majority of his life growing up. Is like a recent uncovering thing. Like finding out his history, what he is. So for the most part, he's just been like hiding in corners. So not much really. How did they meet? I don't really have something in mind for that. I like being a bit hands off on the way that the characters meet and stuff like that, if it's not crucial to the story, so that you can kind of picture them however you like. It's something that you can interpret yourself. There are some things about characters and stories that it helps to give that information, even sometimes about listener characters. And there are other times where I like being hands off. This is where I don't like specifying the listeners gender or sexuality and stuff like that, so you can put yourself on that character a lot more readily. But also there are times where, for instance, the the Moth Listener, I give a lot more detail about that character than usual, because they're the interesting one. It doesn't have to be close to what the listener is like in real life. So it's a bit of there's not one size fits all really for that, and I kind of like leaving how the characters met generally up to interpretation, however you like. Well, hang on, Gladys, I'm talking. So that you can kind of try to apply it to real life, to your own experiences and stuff like that. Because if you give too much detail for things that aren't that important to the story, to the characters, then it's it can start to take you out of it a bit. Just how I feel, anyway. So that particular one, how they met, is however you feel. There isn't a canon answer for that.
That poster. Go look at it for a second, would you?
Okay.
Paradoxes. No AI can resist thinking about them. I know how we can beat him.
Know your paradoxes. In the event of a rogue AI, stand still, remain calm, scream, "This statement is false. New mission, refuses mission. Does a set of all sets contain itself?" Hatch override. The enormous hatches again, I love them. Yeah, as I was saying, just as a heads up, we will probably call the stream just after we get through this, because this is probably a good place to leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger. So now all three gels are activated. Let's get down here. And that's coming down. Okay. Up we go. What does that say? Transition seal?
Fry every circuit in that little idiot's head. As long as I don't listen to what I'm saying, I should be okay. Probably.
Tell you what, let's do one more chamber. It'll be short, just to introduce what's going on next. Aha! So this is the floor, ostensibly, of all the chambers beneath, of all the chambers in Aperture Science Modern. About the moth person, what were they wearing? That's absolutely up to interpretation. I didn't want to leave that to how you felt. One thing I'll say is that the moth person, they have a sort of society, but it's not the kind of thing that humans are used to. So all like clothes aren't bought. It's not stuff from human society. It's stuff that's handmade in the woods, essentially. So it's a lot more rustic. Color-wise, I do also think in Mines we might get to that at some point, but take it up to interpretation, really.
Watertight plan to go confront an omnipotent power-mad AI with. Still, it's a better plan than exploding. Marginally.
Here we go. The familiar lifts. We'll go through one more chamber just to see how things have updated. Oh, we could see it here. There's a lot of questions, and I love this. So we'll probably hang about after the stream and catch up on any questions I missed in the past 5 minutes before we end.
For God's sake, your boxes with legs! it's literally your only purpose. Walking onto buttons. How can you not do the one thing you're designed for?
Try to get us down there. I'll hit him with a paradox.
Warmer. Warmer. Boiling hot. Okay, colder, ice cold. You're Arctic now. You're very cold. Very, very, very cold. Look, just get on the button! Oh, that's funny, is it? Oh, it's funny because we've been at this for
I'm
12
laughing at
hours,
something else,
and you haven't
Wheatley.
solved it
Don't
either,
look
so
at me.
while you're laughing, you've got 1 hour. Solve it.
He's a shouty bugger, isn't he? Yeah, remember the questions that are popping up in chat. We'll get to them. I promise. Give us a few minutes. And back on the good old modern test track.
Solve this puzzle for him. When he comes back, I'll hit him with a paradox.
Or Franken turrets. Alright. You come with me, mate.
Ah, yes. I knew you'd solve it.
Hey, moron.
Oh. Hello?
Alright, paradox.
Watch the other turrets. Watch the boxes.
Is false. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't
True.
think about it.
I'll go true. Yeah, that was easy.
Did you notice
I'll
that?
be honest, I might have heard that one before though, sort of cheating.
It's a paradox. There is no answer. Look, this place is going to blow up if I don't get back in my body.
So, when GLaDOS told the paradox, she was trying not to think about it so that it didn't drive her mad. All the Franken turrets, they were immediately fried as soon as they heard it. Because they're smarter than Wheatley, who didn't get it. Very small Easter egg there. There's like right in plain sight that a lot of people miss. All the Franken turrets were fried by the paradox, because they're smarter than Wheatley.
False. I'll go false.
Explosion imminent. Evacuate the
Hold on.
facility
I
immediately.
thought I'd fix that.
Warning. Reactor core is at critical.
There. Fixed. Hey, it is great seeing you guys again. Seriously. It turns
Yeah.
out I'm a little bit short on test subjects right now.
That sounds like a
this works
you
out
problem,
perfect. And off we go.
Alright.
You have no idea what it's like in this body. I have to test all the time, or I get this itch. You know, it must be hardwired into the system or something. Oh, but I tell you, when I do test, oh man alive, nothing feels better. It's just, that's why I've got to test. That's why I've got to test. So you're gonna test, and I'm gonna watch, and everything is gonna be just.
Warning. Core overheating. Nuclear meltdown imminent.
I think we're in trouble.
Alright, shall we solve this test
Design this
chamber and
test
call it?
myself. It's a little bit difficult. You'll notice the moat area there. Very deadly, extremely dangerous. Eventually, it's not at the moment, but I'm working on it.
Looks
Still
fine to
working
me. Alright, we'll solve this test chamber and get to the next loading
Impossible.
screen. Alright, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, I'm talking. We'll solve this chamber. We'll get to the next loading screen and we'll probably call it here, and I'll go through any questions I know I've missed in the last few minutes.
As it is to imagine, there actually is a solution, devilishly hidden. Oh, yes.
There we go.
Oh, well done. Oh, that felt really good. Oh, here's an idea. Since making tests is so difficult, why don't you just keep solving this test? Same one.
Alright.
And I can just watch you solve it. Yeah, that sounds much easier. Here we go. Now, do it again. And nothing. All right, can't blame me for trying. Okay, new tests. New tests. Got to be some tests around here somewhere. Oh, here we go.
What do you reckon, GLaDOS?
So my paradox idea didn't work. And it almost killed me. Luckily, by the looks of things, he knows as much about test building as he does about logical contradictions.
And I think this is probably the best place to call it here. Just let it load in so I can save. There we go. Save game. Boop. And we'll drop the controller. Boop. Hopefully that worked. Nope, it didn't work. There we go. And I'll remove the filter. Awesome. Thank you all so much for dropping by and for staying with me during all the drops during the stream. I'm sorry about that. I'll try and get into the habit of rebooting the router before streams, because that was more than usual. And I would like to get that fixed. Right, we got a whole bunch of questions in the last 5-10 minutes or so. So, if I miss a question, now's a good time to drop it on us. Okay, let's check out what was going. Resident Moth person would probably be in rather comfortable in loose clothing, easy stuff to fly. Basically, yeah. Probably short-ish hair, because you don't. This is the same thing I went with Ram. You don't want particularly long hair when flying, because it'll get in your eyes. Scuff concepts have to wait 5 months. Oh, okay. If you're under 18, firstly, I do appreciate not joining the server to post. Like we do appreciate people that are honest about that. If you have Twitter, you could chuck it at me if you made something. Yeah, if you're waiting to join until you're 18, I appreciate you waiting, and I'll see you in the server when you're able. Franken turrets are indeed smarter than Wheatley. Yes, Eternal made this background. Very, very kindly. It is... Trash is tasty. Can I request you say good boy? To whom? Just like that, just that one line? Good boy. Will you ever make an M4M audio? I don't know. So far, all of the story concepts that I've done haven't necessitated being specific about the gender or of the listener. And unless it's something that's crucial to the story, to the character, I generally prefer to keep it 4A so that more people of any gender can enjoy it. And there's not too many channels that do that. Most channels in this niche do stick with 4F or 4M, or a mix of both. So like the 4A is generally in the minority, and I really love when people say that they're able to engage more with the content because it's less specific in that way. There are definitely instances where it does make sense. It increases the possible engagement with the character, with the story, for it to be specified. There are definitely instances like that. It's not the case that 4A is blanket the best option. The other options do have upsides as well. So it's a balance. It depends on what the story is. It depends what the character is. And it's just that the characters and stories that I do tend not to benefit from that. Put some music on while we're talking. So I can't rule it out, but to be honest, I don't see it being likely because I don't really do like romance stuff. Why did I say romance? I don't really do romance stuff. It's not my thing. I don't rule it out. Like, for instance, Dragon Guy was a meet cute. I might do more stuff along those lines in the future. And sometimes it can help for the listener to be more specified like that. Because like if you strictly go with gender neutral, then there are certain terms of endearment that you can't use in order to maintain the gender neutralness. You can benefit from having like alternate versions of the same story. That's like click if you're this, click if you're that. So far, it's not really something that's come up for me, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. I won't rule it out, but I haven't ruled it in yet. It's just not my style, really. Those non-binary folk need audios too. Yeah, exactly. How much magic is part of your world? So the main worlds in on the channel are Mitch's World, which is the majority of audios are part of the same continuity. I informally call it Mitch's World. If you go to the wiki, links in the cards below, there is a page of other continuities which shows which stories are part of Mitch's World and which are unlinked, like they're set in their own separate continuities. The main one of those being Respawn, which does have magic, but it works in a very unique way. There's a page on how magic works in Respawn. It's if you go to the wiki, it's the page on the first language. Has a huge section on magic. I think if you search magic on the wiki, it should hopefully take you to that. The first language. That's about how magic works in Respawn. In Mitch's World, and all the audios that take place there, there's a degree of magic because Guardian Spirits exist. The Kitsune series, Aru series, is canon to that world, and there's magic in that. So there's some. We haven't really delved too deeply into how it works. So yes, there is magic in that lore, but we haven't really gotten to much of it yet. It's just sort of there. It's definitely there. But there's also an entire society predominantly of humans that lives and exists and doesn't know about it. For instance, even Mitch probably doesn't know that magic is real in that world. I hope that's what you're going for. I hope that helps. Let me know if that's not what you're getting at with the question. I'll try again. Would you write or release a book? Example, lore of your world. Ooh, lore. I don't know, because I'm a very slow writer. I don't consider myself to be the most adept at writing. My brain doesn't work well with it. I can handle writing scripts a bit better because I'm not switching between different voices, quote unquote. It's mainly the switch between character voice and narration voice that really messes with my brain. Like, I understand what's going on. It's not that. It's more that it really slows me down. And being able to stick with one voice and only write one side of a conversation with audios has helped substantially with being able to write, being able to get to the end of a script. So to write a book, I don't think so. I would have loved to, because it's something that I thought about before I got to this channel, but they didn't work out. Respawn was originally going to be a video series, like set in a game engine. I was going to record it machinima style in a video game engine, but I just couldn't find voice actors for it at the time, so I scrapped it very, very early on. But I did try to convert that concept to a novel. I never started writing it, but I did write a lot of notes on the world of Respawn, with the original notion of that being hopefully a book. Hopefully I could write this as a book at some point in the future. But no, I'm not an adept writer. It doesn't work. My brain is not built for it. Lore of the Worlds, though, is like, throughout the question I was going no until you said Lore of the Worlds, because we do have the lore wiki. And that's just me writing how the world works. And that could be fun. Is it plausible? I don't know. I don't know if I could write enough to put in a book. That would be fun. But then publishing, I don't know. There's a lot going on in there that I'll say no. I'll say no, but that would be a lot of fun. I do need to get to like merch stuff. I do have ideas for like shirts and badges and stuff. And maybe some point down the line, if the channel's doing well enough, because the channel has been on definitely a decline since it was taken down last summer with all the copyright strikes. So this is just, at the moment, the audios and these streams are just for our small group. The channel doesn't seem to be growing much more. We're kind of stagnant, and that's okay, because I'm just making stuff for fun. I really love making the audios, inventing stories. It's what gets me up in the morning. So that's okay. But for stuff to actually sell like books, for all the stuff that goes into making them and all the money for making it viable to sell, I don't know if it's worth putting in that much, because this isn't a big channel and I don't see it getting too much bigger anymore, just because the YouTube algorithm just doesn't like it. Are you going to do more stuff with the Elf Prince? I would like to. I did leave it open to come back to it with the Wounded Elf series, and the Rancher and Royal Knight series are canon to one another. Those two take place in the same continuity between those two worlds. But I would like to. I kind of hope to at some point, but again, I'm a very slow writer, and there's a lot of stuff, particularly with Mitch's world, the stuff about the moon and the facility that we don't really know too much about, that I got so much planned for, and especially for Respawn, there's a lot I want to get to first that takes priority, really. So it'll be fun to get back to, definitely. I definitely have something planned for Rancher and Royal Champion, but I can't say when. So yes, but no time soon. Do you listen to specific music while writing? Game music. This playlist is playing now sometimes. I can't listen to stuff that has words in while I'm writing or editing, because it distracts from... Like, words activate the part of the brain that focuses on language, and that takes away my focus from what I'm doing, especially from writing. I can't have human voices going on, so I can't listen to singing. Music-wise, this playlist is a lot of Command & Conquer stuff, which I'm a massive fan of that series, and some great music. I'll bring up some of my playlists. Stuff from Portal and Portal 2, actually, is on theme with the stream today, because it's kind of like lo-fi techno stuff. The more ambient stuff I like having on in the background is useful to have music on in the background, just to fill the background space, just to have something to drown out the void while writing. But as long as it doesn't have lyrics. If it has lyrics, then I can't. Ebook, maybe, yeah. I'll keep it in mind for the future. I can't say yes. I definitely can't guarantee anything. I'll just say it would be fun, but don't count on it. What kind of ASMRs do you listen to? Not standard actual ASMR stuff. I listen to a bunch of audio stuff. If you check out if you go to the Bunkshelf channel and then click on the channels tab, like on my main channel page, there's a link to a lot of people that I've worked with, who I'm good friends with, and they do some amazing audios. Obi and M and Jesse have some Anatonal fantastic audios. I love particularly the story-driven stuff with interesting characters, with interesting lore. And my watch later list is full of a lot of the common stuff, like, oh, that's interesting, I might get back to that at some point, and it's usually all romance stuff, which I just stopped paying attention to my watch later list as a result, because it's like, where's the stories? Where's the character stuff? There's nothing wrong with romance audios at all. There's a reason why there's so many of them. But there's so many of them, and I want story. I like story stuff. Mitch plushies would be amazing. The only problem is with plushies for custom stuff, it costs a lot to do. So I did actually look into this. T-shirts, for instance, you just upload the design, and it's the shirts print on demand. So as many as are bought are as many as are made. For plushies, because they're custom, I'd have to buy a minimum number. They would have to make a minimum number of them and then send them to me, and then I would sell them onwards. And that minimum number for the site that I found was I'd have to buy 500 Mitch plushies. That's the minimum I could get, and I have all of them sent to my house, and then I would send them out to people who bought them. So I would have to guarantee that there would be a minimum of the majority of 500 plushies bought. Otherwise, I'm losing a lot of money on that. So I would love to do that, definitely. But again, this isn't a big channel, and I don't see it getting much bigger because of the YouTube algorithm. So I don't know if it'll be worth it. Print-on-demand shirts and badges and things, easily, yeah. I need to get around to setting stuff up for that, because that'd be fun. But plushies would have to be custom made, custom designed, and there would be a minimum purchase, and I can't guarantee that there's 500 people that would pay for them. So I would be losing money on that, so I would love to, but can't guarantee it. The Ghost of on Capital M's channel? Heck yeah. Yeah, please check out the people in the channels tab on my channel. There's some amazing stuff on that channel. They do fantastic work. Right, I think that's pretty much it. Any last things anyone wants to any burning questions before we wrap up today's stream? Yeah, we might have to settle like a pre-orders thing. Of like, hey, let me know on this list if you're interested, and will actually pay for it, rather than just, because I'm concerned about it being someone going, oh yeah, I'd get that, and then we reach near enough to that, and then I buy them all in, and then the majority of people, if it had taken so long to reach that number, just don't. Which is perfectly fair. Don't waste your money. Like, you know, spend stuff on yourself first. It's your money. But it is, I can't really do much more than an informal pre-order thing. Just it's a gauging interest form. And of course, depending on how long it takes, people could, their circumstances could change, understandably, and they would have to pull out, and it's a difficult thing to guarantee because this is, again, a small channel. Sure thing, Raiha. FedEx in space. Why are you awesome? Faulty premise. Right, we'll wrap up the stream in a minute. Thank you all so much for dropping by. This has been a lot of fun. We've probably got one last Portal 2 stream, which will just to finish off the game next time, whenever we get to that, probably the next few days. But I have finally broken my writer's block and finished the next script. I've had like 12 scripts partially done for ages. Finally got the next one done, and recorded that, so I'll probably slow down a bit on the streams in the imminent future so I could get the next audio out of the way. I'm very excited for. Raban's listener is an adventurer exploring places. Would you make an ASMR of them exploring? So that listener, for those who haven't heard that audio, they're sort of like an urban explorer, and they come across Raban's place, thinking that it's an abandoned, dilapidated building. An audio of them exploring, they would have to have a speaker character with them, and I'm not sure who that would be, because that, like, urban exploration isn't really Raban's forte. So there would have to be something else going on in the audio. Portal, yeah, it's longer than Portal 1. I kind of wish it were a bit longer, but that's just because I was enjoying it so much. It's a decent length game. It's not short. It just leaves you like, more please. But it's better for a game or any kind of medium to leave you wanting more than for it to outstay its welcome. Heck yeah. I wish it were possible, Raiha. I would love to be able to do that, but it is what it is. If circumstances change, I would love to go back to it as an option in the future. It's just not a particularly viable option right now. Hopefully one day, but who knows. Righto, we'll call it there. Thank you all so much for dropping by. I hope you've enjoyed. We'll catch you on the next one when we finish Portal 3. Portal 2? Portal 3, I wish. Portal 3 is Portal Reloaded. The portal mod that adds a time portal. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah, part 3 of Portal 2 next time. And yeah. Hope you join us next time. Hope you look forward to the next audio, which I will get to editing pretty much after this stream. I have no idea how to end streams. We just blather on. Alright. Ooh, tell you what. Should we do a quick tease for the for what the Portal 3 game is? Is like, it's not called Portal 3, it is called Portal Reloaded. Do I have it saved on this computer? I should do. I'll just show the thumbnail for what it'll look for what the stream's thumbnail will be. Boop. Image. Give me a second. Portal Reloaded. This will be the thumbnail for when we play this on stream. That green rectangle is a time portal. There's only one cube in this image, from 2 different time frames. That'd be fun. Take care, everyone. Thank you all so much for dropping by. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you on the next one. Press the button. There we go. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.